Whenever they pry these open... Skyhammer! Oh, yeah.
It's to good use.
Not sure how she got past security, but... yeah. She's not doing so good. Just kept banging on Londra's door, begging him to save her. I told her he was gone, but she just kept wailing. I had to drag her out.
These will be some great games today. They always seem to show up on Thanksgiving.
Inspiring us to future.
There's nothing on that one. The fourth log mentioned both Cobalt and the Xiaolu Lunar Company.
So we need a mission log with both.
Yep.
Darling, we have a very difficult task ahead of us. We can't afford to go soft. Reduce your empathy matrix by 15%, please.
Adjusted.
Wonder.
Here to the hunt! Quick capture time!
Oh my god, we hit level 50, so...
You felt that, didn't you?
Oh yeah, rare one here. Oh, Sunwing. Okay, that's why.
Oh, it hatched a machine. Let's get this done. Eating all the fun cheese? Down it goes.
Finally!
Down it goes.
That is what we call a polecaster point.
There we go.
You made that look easy.
Well, that's what I do.
If I time it right, I think I can grapple to that vent.
That'll work.
Got a power core on the back. I gotta get up there to destroy it. Just hurry.
Mike the Ref Maloney, Big Bad Boris on the call here tonight. It is
Mr. Keith.
Super Kick!
Let go! Let go!
Third!
Let go!
Super Kick Party! Yeah, pay the money for that. Yes! This life is going great! Let's go!
She's healthy.
Let's go!
Is she healthy?
Yeah!
Apparently she's back.
Hey, yo, 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 and away we go. Hello, everybody, to a Thursday night edition of the AEW Sidecast here on the Mike the Ref Twitch channel. Great to have you here tonight. And you know what? We always get these follows during the intro. We're going to redo it. Thank you, Wonka Pokey, for the follow. Welcome to the Players Pit. Enjoy the food, enjoy the company, watch out for the punch, because I think it might be spiked. Yeah, we are going to have a lot of fun here tonight. Hey, Homa, how you doing? Before we get going, and I know I'll say this a few times tonight, to all our American friends, I just want to wish you a happy and healthy Thanksgiving today. I hope everything went well. Everything that you wanted to do on this day, I hope you got an opportunity to do. For those that aren't in America, I want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving, and I hope you got a chance to take the day off work to watch a little football. Pop into our stream earlier this morning where we took on a little Horizon Forbidden West, which you got to see some clips on the pre-stream here, thanks to Frosty Tools, and just having a great old time here. So, yeah, tonight we're wrapping up round one of the Continental Classic. As you can see, here's the updated bracket going into it. As you right now, I think the biggest upset we've seen right now is Kevin Knight beating Darby Allin on Dynamite yesterday. I don't think that was really expected, but this might be a case of Darby maybe fitting into a lesser role for this event, which isn't the worst thing in the world for him either, you know. But also, Kyle Fletcher defeated Kazuchika Okada in the opening match. I forgot that the same thing happened last year, so we don't really yet. It's not really a crazy thing that came up so far. But yeah, but before we get going, there's one other thing I want to say right now. How about them Cowboys? The only reason I'm cheering for the Cowboys is that this pretty much means that Kansas City's going to have to run the table to get to the playoffs. So, oh, it's such a great day. All right, they're in victory pose. I could get the channel changed over here. For those in the States, it is on TNT. For those in Canada, the USA in Canada channel, which is the most confusing name I have ever seen in my life. But yeah, if you guys got a chance on socials, I did post the card for tonight. Let me get rid of this right now. On top of Pac and Mike Bailey and Takeshita versus Roderick Strong, we're also getting Eddie Kingston versus Katsuyori Shibata. And if you guys saw the promo yesterday on Dynamite, basically Kingston saying if I beat the crap out of Shibata, I should get a little closer to a title shot against you, Joe. So that's how that's going to play out. And then also we're getting Ty Mello and Tekla, which I'm really hope that Ty Mello gets a chance to get a victory here. I know that Tekla is like the ultimate powerhouse right now and the it girl, basically, when it comes to momentum, but the way that she took the loss in the in the women's tag tournament, I really wonder maybe they're going to try and find a way to get Ty a little bit stronger here going forward and maybe getting her towards possibly taking on Mercedes Moné. Like, this is where the multiple titles do come in handy a little bit, with the fact that, you know, you can push somebody towards another title when they really deserve to get a little bit more of a push here. So we're also going to get a segment from MXM, the Open Challenge. With that, we're also going to hear from a few stars tonight. We're going to hear from Mark Briscoe. We're going to hear from Ricochet. We're going to hear from FTR. So it is going to be, well, let's face it. Right now, it's planned to be a 5-match card. And one of those matches I don't expect to be very long with the MXM Challenge. But really, I don't know if you expect much more than that today. It is Thanksgiving. It's nice background views. And once again, like I said before, having the C2 right now is absolutely perfect in this situation here. For the fact if, yes, you have family commitments, I do recommend bringing more family in to watch Collision, just like you should be right now, as we're just getting to get it started here. As the pyro's going off and everybody's going nuts. But if you don't get a chance to watch it live, all you need is this. While it's not going to be perfect to tell you the whole story about what's going on, this will catch you up rather quickly. At least on some things. Well, you know what? While the C2's up, I always keep the brackets up anyways, so we're getting Pac and Mike Bailey to open the show. Pretty much what I thought we'd get. I like the fact that it's only, well, where's Garcia in this? He should be getting, like Garcia, Yuta, and Marina are not involved in it, so they can support everybody. I can understand why they don't use Moxley or Claudio as part of boosting everybody up, just because of what's going on here. So I'm just glad I managed to pull this graphic off the web so I can update it as we go here. So I think I got it down now where I can get my editing program to fire it up real quick here. So but yeah, once again, as we're getting going here, hope everybody's had a great Thanksgiving. If you have any highlights from Thanksgiving so far today, let me know. I think my biggest highlight today is the fact that I got to do a double stream. We managed to get through another part of the main quest of Horizon Forbidden West, the Burning Shores DLC. Spent a couple hours of that this morning over coffee and just enjoying it. I'm glad to see Bailey found some different gear instead of his jet speed gear, unlike Kevin Knight yesterday. And I guess it makes sense that you're going to have teammates only face each other in 1 week. Like this week, it was the Don Callis family. Next week, it's the Death Riders. Week 3 is probably going to be Jet Speed. Week 4 would be possibly the Conglomeration and Friends. And then week 5 is simply the finals, right? The last week getting into it. Because realistically, what you want is it's just like baseball season. You try to have your gimmick, like your gimmick shows during the regular season when things aren't as interesting as you're getting early into the league and the tournament, like whichever. The fact that Speedball is hitting his arms, like it looks like he's trying to kick tree trunks right there. So that's actually pretty cool. Between the two of them, they're 20-0. So, if you guys haven't heard, there's a unique stipulation for this event. Technically, the Continental Classic title is the only one that's on the line for Okada. So, if Okada loses this tournament in any shape, form, or matter, the unified title will be no more. Or the unified title just represents the international title. It's convoluted. Even I think it's a little too convoluted. Should just be the unified title overall. That's it. Oh, they did not announce that match for tonight. Daddy Magic and Garcia. All right, I stand corrected. We're getting 6 matches tonight. And then, yeah, Tekta and Ty. I really do hope that, like I said, I really do hope Ty gets a victory here. I don't know if she will. And of course, Pac's doing his Pac things. Now, I haven't seen the results of what happens tonight, so yes, we are going in blind. I'm not a very good guy when it comes to reading spoilers because spoilers really don't bother me a whole lot in terms of who wins because I want to see good matches, right? I worked as a color commentator for the better part of 5 years. You learn what finals are going to be. But what you want to see is a good presentation getting there. Or you want to see final results. Sorry, that's what I'm... Watch Claudio and Mox just walk out and take a double count out. And then they end up with 1 point apiece. Yeah, this is the point that Excalibur brought up that I forgot from last year, is the fact that Fletcher got the victory over Okada. And that's what brought him into first place, which actually cost him because he had to face Will Ospreay in the semis. If he could have found a way to... If he would have snuck down to second, he would have been taking out Ricochet. And I'll be honest, Fletcher and Ricochet, while I do feel that'd be a hell of a matchup, I still think Fletcher has a bit of an advantage there at this point. Because for all the speed that Ricochet has and the experience, Fletcher can match that speed. And the extra power that he has. Like, let me know in the chat what you guys think. If we end up getting like a Fletcher Ricochet matchup. Not in the C2 at this year, but... Yeah, those kicks were doing some work. Speedball's got such a pace on him. It's amazing. Speedball going over the top there. And tonight we're taped. Therefore, we're going to full commercial tonight. So forgive me if I don't see anything exciting going on during the commercial breaks here. So. Oh no, don't ever apologize. You know what? I'll spoil the ending because I know that I know you had to tap out there. I know you did. I know you didn't say you took off, but yeah, I saw when. Season 2 ended in probably the most opportune way possible based on what we've dealt with throughout the entire season of 2K. If you got a TLC match, Charlotte went to go hit her finisher on one of the other people, and Tegan managed to stick around long enough to get the briefcase. So, and instead of being like the typical 20-minute match that a TLC match would be, ended up being like 3 minutes. And I'm just swearing and cursing it the whole time and it happened and like, ugh. But no, I don't blame you. I honestly thought you were going to take off for the entire second half of the stream. With the condition that you were this is a trying weekend for a lot of people. By the way, hi. Didn't get a chance to say hello to you here. Oh, I get it. And you know what? This time of year can be exhausting for a lot of people. And I'm not just saying that because I'm not just saying that because of Thanksgiving and all the hustle and bustle with that. With everything, you can get exhausted real quick about it. Like, life in general right now is just crazy. that's why tonight we're not doing anything after Collision. I'm going to raid you guys out, and those on YouTube, we will just a heads up, next time we will be back on is next Wednesday with Dynamite, which will be a 2-hour Dynamite, and then we should be back with Online My GM on Twitch that night, so hopefully. For those on Twitch, we're just going to raid out tonight after we're done. Hopefully do a channel that talks a little bit of wrestling, but it's Thanksgiving, so I'm not sure who's on, who's not, who's around. But I will say, how about them Cowboys once again? Just because it's F the Chiefs more than anything else. If it was anybody else but the Chiefs they were playing, I'd be disgusted at the Cowboys today, but if you're not following the NFL, basically what this means is the rest of the season, the Kansas City Chiefs pretty much have to win every single game that they have left, all 5 of them, or they're going to be eliminated for the playoffs for the first time in years. So I find it interesting that they keep showing these graphics at the start of the night about who's involved. Oh, that's a nice counter right there. But no, I hope everybody had a good turkey day today. If you guys have anything planned, guys and girls have anything planned for Black Friday, let me know. I am looking at getting a couple deals. There are a couple games that I'm looking to pick up on sale. So Yanksgiving today, absolutely. I didn't go too crazy. I just had a steak today for supper, so the food schedule was a little off today with streaming in the morning. So you're working tomorrow, so am I. I'm after work. I have to. I got to go to my GameSpot because I pre-ordered the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, the physical copy, but I pre-ordered it for PS5, and now that everything's come out about the lag in the PS5 on that game, I'm going to see if I can get it changed over to Xbox. Need to go Saturday? Yeah. Well, the good thing for me is, like, to be honest, you guys are the ones that I got to take care of for Christmas. So, if you're at all interested, and this is for anybody here who isn't subscribed, and we still got an hour till our first ad, but if you are interested at all in not worrying about the ads, Twitch is offering free Twitch Turbo 1 month, first month free for Twitch Turbo. Up until December 31st, the offer is available. So basically what Twitch Turbo is, and I pay for it because I can't afford subbing every channel that I support. So essentially Twitch Turbo costs roughly just under the cost of 2 subs a month, and what it does is it allows you to go any channel and basically watch for free. The commercials will not affect you, and you will be able to, and all the revenue that the Twitch streamer is supposed to get for the ads, they're actually going to get. So Ref, why aren't you still counting? See, even the crowd's keeping up with the count. Oh, Bailey touched the title. He ain't winning nothing. No, myself personally, I'm probably going to get Final Fantasy VII. If it's on for $25 Canadian, I think that's worth it. That's probably the biggest one I'm going to go for. depending how interested I am, I might go for Sonic Racing Cross Worlds is on sale, so I might wait on that though, because I'm probably not gonna be able to play it for a while here. Technically, Bailey never got in the ring. We got to look at this here. Look back at the replay. He never actually got into the ring. All right, Nigel. Thanks for clarifying. Oh, God. My God, Bailey. Square into the buckle and just bounced out like that? Oh, God. He was going for that clothesline and Bailey just said nope. I thought he was going to get it there. Nice little poison rod out there. No, he's going to get caught here. Oh my God, Bailey got him. All right, that sucked. All right, I think this is over. Into the brutalizer. This one is done. Let me get the updated bracket here done pretty quick here. I know they got the table, but, you know, I like mine. Looks a little more purdy here. Oh, the Black Arrow's been retired for a while now. Pocket Okada next week. Let's go. All right, there's our updated bracket for the tournament here. Could you imagine if Pac beats Okada? And Okada's basically done? Um, I'll get back to the Black Arrow here in a second. Moxley just doing his casual response there. No, the Black Arrow, Pac ended up using it last at the pay-per-view against Darby. Ended up missing it, but he did go for it. But honestly, for some, as a heel, a clothesline seems to be more appropriate for a finish. As we head to a commercial break here. I know Ricochet's changing the dynamic about it a lot. But in the most traditional sense of the world, you don't want your heels doing super flashy moves because everybody's supposed to be wowed and astonished. And let me get rid of that for right now. They're supposed to be astonished by these big feats of aerial theatrics that you're able to pull. So they're like, ooh, well done on the good hit. No, Pac doesn't want no well done. He wants he wants 2 fingers to say well done. The best way you could tell the well done is telling them where to go and how fast to get there. So now this is interesting interesting tournament indeed right now. With the fact our main event tonight's probably going to be Takeshita and Roddy. Which will be a hell of a fun match. I expect Takeshita to win it. Just because I expect Takeshita to pretty much run through that entire side. I don't know if he'll get 15 points, but I think he could probably end up with 12. He could probably give up one match and not worry about it a whole lot. On that blue side, like 10 points might win it. Honestly, 10 points might win. We haven't seen any draws yet. And I got a feeling we're going to see a couple here somehow in this draw. There's going to be 20-minute time limits. There's going to be double countouts. AEW is a little more adept at using the double countout now, so. But yeah, like Pac Okada, it's a good call. That would put Okada really behind the 8 ball, though, which isn't the worst thing in the world for me. Like, still kills Okada, yeah, absolutely. Well, here's the thing. If he gets a draw there and then sweeps the rest of the bracket, which what's he got left there on that side? You'll have Bailey. You'll have Bailey, Allen, and Speedball. If he can get those 3, which realistically all 3 of those can be made for a guy like Okada, that still gets him 10 points. Hey, OMG, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you in the States. Happy Thursday to us here in Canada. And happy Thanksgiving, football day, all that great stuff today as well. Thank you for being here. Appreciate ya. Is Brody saying? All right, so yeah, they're focusing. I'm glad they're bringing up Ring of Honor once in a while. Matthews coming back. Apparently, his ankle is working about as well as Adam Cole's was. What? They're doing survival of the fittest for the world title? Okay. Uh, chat. Chat. In a six-way match, there's always a chance. Don't get me wrong. But almost in some ways there, except for maybe Hitchicero, it's almost playing that game of one of these things doesn't belong. Sammy's already a tag champ. So I don't know if they want to do the dual Ring of Honor titles. I could see a Ring of Honor and AEW title, yes. That's what Bandito did. It wouldn't surprise you, though. Sammy won it. Commander wins it. Bandito wasn't a double ROH champion. He was a AEW and a ROH champion. So technically, if they want to separate the shows, and yes, I do know what. Yeah, I know. I know some people think I'm talking out of my ass here, but I just don't want this to be like 2K25. Who was it? Gunther had all three titles for one brand by the time we were finished up here. I thought Daddy Magic was going after Arcady there. I'm like, what the hell? This whole crowd is like, all right, well, we got this match here for a reason. They needed a little bit of a promo before the show for this one, I think, personally. There you go. There you go, Daddy Magic. That's how you start it. You call somebody a bitch. That's how the fight goes. It just sure makes sense for that title. Yeah. And that's why I say outside of maybe two characters. And that's the other character I'm thinking of. It would have been very interesting to see what happened if Roosh would have been able to take on Bandito there. That would have been an amazingly fun match. We'll see what happens. I'm just looking forward to seeing that venue again. Because, yes, it's not an overly large venue during GalaxyCon because they're running it in the middle of the convention, right? So it is a smaller venue, but it definitely does give a great vibe there. Garcia, you might not want to slap Daddy Magic. You've already insulted him how many times? Oh, yeah, here we go. Don't, you gotta get out of there. Get out of the way. I love that Mox is just so casual ringside. Like, I don't care if Garcia gets the ass kicked out of him. He's going to learn if he doesn't. If he doesn't win this proper. I love how Moxley just explains it right now. That almost bounced in the ring. Like a feud like this could have been carried on. This could have been a possibility for uh like a pay-per-view match even. With the way this feud had built up and broke down. It still can. You think so? It the intensity levels really got to go up here, and I wonder if you could build this up the way you need to get it up there. X-Barn Cheating, thank you for popping in here and joining the Players Club. And of course, we're into a commercial break. So I get a little extra second here. Thank you for joining the Players Pit. Enjoy the food, enjoy the company, watch out for the drinks. It might have been spiked. If you ever meet a friend named McGee, give him the slant eye because I think he's the one that spiked them all. So shout out to McGee once again here tonight. Shout out to everybody here popping in here tonight. We've had a lot of people pop in, say hello, and I really appreciate each and every one of you. As we're here for every Collision and Dynamite, except what's coming on in December. Just a heads up, I won't be here for the 13th. I'll be streaming that day, but it'll be at our normal time. AEW's moving Collision up on the 13th and the 20th to the afternoon, so unfortunately, I will not be able to do anything on that because I will be at work. Unless, I could be streaming while I'm working and, that whole getting fired while you're doing it would be, not the best thing in the world, but. But no, if you're popping in from the States, once again, thank you for popping in and out. Thank you for checking things out tonight. As we are on the road to World's End. It's sort of funny because everybody talks about wrestling going quiet for the last month, but AEW, I find quite the opposite. They have taken advantage of the situation where everybody winds down a bit, and they've worked it out so that everybody gets a chance to be with their families for the appropriate times here. Because they're taping Christmas Eve and Christmas Day wrestling on the weekend before. That's going to be the weekend at the Hammerstein Ballroom. So Christmas Day, I do believe, is going to be the last day of the C2 round robin. So that'll be definitely worth checking out with us here. And then, a bunch of them are going overseas to Scotland and Wales starting on the 12th. Or sorry, the first show's the 13th, the Cena night. So, with it being on the Cena trip, or being overseas with that, they're running early. Uh-oh. I just thought, why does this match need blood? Is it just because Moxley's around? I love this with Moxley. He's like trying to justify what happened after he took that big loss over in off of O'Reilly, and makes you wonder what's going to happen on Wednesday. Like, do we end up with a draw? Do we end up with Claudio winning? Do we end up with Mox cheating to win? Nigel's got a great point there. Don't ever ask questions if you're scared to get answers for them. How does that not surprise me? Well, you can steal daggers all you want, but if you're going to... Uh-oh. All right, that'll be a count out now. Or they're just going to call the match, one or the other. Moxley having an absolute conniption there on commentary. And he's been preaching this for years. By rule, he was still technically out of the ring at 10. Wiping the blood all over his tights. That's great. Oh my God, could he pull this off? That would be amazing if that got the 3. I am so happy that Garcia's ended up going back to his Red Death gimmick. Like, for people that didn't know, before he came into AEW, Daniel Garcia was that the red hot prospect. Sorry, got my words backwards there. The red hot prospect, the one that can't miss, the number 1 draft pick, whatever cliche you want to use. And the problem is he was just with so many other great wrestlers that he just couldn't get a leg up. This is interesting, the fact that Garcia's using Moxley's finisher now. Stefan, why are you getting away from him if you're trying to break it up here? Okay. Oh, God, here we go. We knew we were going to hear from Briscoe. I didn't think we'd hear from him at this point. I love that new title, by the way. If you haven't seen it, the conglomeration handed over a special camo title to Briscoe, which I think is absolutely perfect. Other than the fact that half the internet's pissed off about Kyle Fletcher not getting a pink title, which I don't think he really wanted to begin with. I think he was the old school. He likes the black. He wants Wants a traditional title. That's a hell of an intro there, Briscoe. But getting Garcia title wouldn't be the worst thing in the world here right now, to be honest. Cheap pop. Cheap pop. What a change. Like, what was it? Not even 6, 7 months ago? Or, sorry, that would have been 2 years ago. My bad. Trying to remember how long since Jay's passed away. But prior to that, those guys weren't allowed to be on TNT, period. Now it's their champion. That's an old school saying if I ever heard one here. Macaroni and cheese. Oh my, here we go. That whole Daddy Magic finish the story deal here, I think we're done at this point. I think Briscoe just introduced a new plot point for you. Devour your ass. Well, depends how chocolatey it is. Moxley just gets to be the self-pretentious prick that he always is. It's amazing. Briscoe eats. Well, you got to do a lot of work to get 9 kids, my friend. All right, here comes promo segment 2 we were promised tonight. Kids don't pop. I'm sorry, I'm not exactly the best, Maybe it was magic. Very well could have been magic. We don't know. Maybe in Canada. No, we send them through igloos. That's I don't know. There's like an ice chute that we use, and sometimes it sort of it might come out either way. All right, you gonna say anything of substance here, other than say that you want everything? Ice shoot, poop shoot, you get it all at Tim's. You're all over it tonight, aren't you? Aren't you, Mr. Zodiac? I appreciate you. All the jokes today. Gotta quickly check something here. Okay, that makes sense. What? Okay, people in the States, let me know. On Thanksgiving, do you guys have like restaurants that are open all the time and that, or? I would think Thanksgiving and Christmas are the two times where restaurants are all closed, but why does Shivani always get stuck with this? Why does he always get stuck with this? And I find it interesting that this is all in the same block. McDonald's is open. Don't know if they still are. But I know that because I had to eat there my first Thanksgiving. I'm like, oh, that's fair. I've done it, man. I've done it too. Thanksgivings, Christmases. Looking for one takeout plate. I remember one year I was on call at work on Christmas Day, and obviously all our stores are closed, but somebody still had to be on call in case there were alarms going off. Cash Wheeler, making friends, influencing people once again. Tonight is the greatest night of my life. I thought he was going to start singing, This is the night, night, night. Start doing techno music from the 80s. Another night, another dream, it always do. The delusion of tag team champions said to be true. They love hearts, they feel pain, they got all the things. Now, Stoke, could you just drop that mic and leave me alone? That's my freestyle for the week, folks. Dax looks like he should be working in an office right now instead. Le boo. Well, that ended in a hurry. We're getting it. We're actually getting it. We talked about this. Juice and Austin ended up winning that $200,000. Plus, they beat FTR on Collision just a few weeks ago. I think Austin's like, we don't want to hear you anymore. And I think we're all agreeing about that. That was awesome right there. Austin's like, yeah, no. Let the adults talk here, sir. My God, does he sound like Billy? Well, at least they're honest. The fact that Juice is now an accountant. Hey, as an Elks fan, I can appreciate somebody wanting green and gold. Right smack dab in the middle of the ring. Yep. Wow. I don't think Juice ever has to jack around anyway, right? Just throwing that out there. Eh. I love they're bringing up Jay White. They're bringing up everybody. They all walk with a Came to see my favorite Austin Gunn. Oh, fair enough. Juice is standing there like, are you going to stare at my nipples all day here or what? All right, we're getting the MXM casting call to start the hour. Who's going to dress up as a turkey tonight? Or are we going to get someone dressed up as a turkey tonight? It is. How much longer until. Apparently. So, the story with Jay White is. His original injury took him out for a while, and as he was healing, he realized that, for as long as he's going to be out, there's a possibility that you could get his shoulder worked on, that he had, like it was working through it, because it's one of those hurt, not injured deals. So it added a little bit extra time, but apparently he's close. Like, I'm not saying imminent, but he's in the ballpark. Like, we're talking maybe Revolution. Austin, I have no idea, to be honest with you. Or, sorry, Colton. I have no idea how long it's going to be. But the last I heard is Jay's dealing with multiple injuries. There were not any real complications, unlike Buddy Matthews, who honestly, Buddy says there might be a possibility he might not be able to wrestle again. Like, Buddy said straight up that it's healing that weird right now that he might not be able to get in a pair of wrestling boots, which, let's face it, when you're dealing with wrestling, it's six one way, half a dozen the other, whether it's actually truth or not. You got to take a wrestler at his word to a certain level, but And then right now, everybody I'm hearing when it comes to Adam Cole, it seems like he's absolutely done. Never say never, but second concussion right now with everything that he's gone through. Second concussion that we know of, let's put it that way. Because I even know, like, I know it might have been just for a gimmick, but even watching Chugs on stream this week, he was wearing a couple days wearing shades while he was streaming. So that could be, as much as he could play it up as a kayfabe thing. Sunglasses inside usually indicates issues with the eyes, right? So I think Cole's done for at least a few years. It doesn't mean it's over. Edge was out 6 or 7. Yeah, like that's basically where we're at right now. Is the fact that when Cole shows up, it'll be amazing, but don't expect it anytime soon. Oh my God, did they forget that it's Thanksgiving, not Halloween? Are they just wearing that gear just to get over that gimmick for tonight? Oh God. I All right, Arkady. Well, Zodiac, I think you're going to be overjoyed about this one. I don't think there's anything better you could have on a Thanksgiving dinner. After you had a big meal, everybody's going outside for a little bit to chat. They supposedly are chatting. Oh my God, they got boys. And they got boys that look like they need to have a few meals. I was going to say you need a pack of Marlboros, but well, Thanksgiving is here, yeah. Boondoggle? Oh, Michael Ray, okay. Free plugs, free plugs. Oh, that's so the boys don't actually come down to the ring anymore. Just sitting up on stage. And of course, they're jumping them from behind. This is a nice trios match to mix things up here a little bit because after this, we're going to get Tekla and Ty Mello And then our main event will be, oh God. Taya's sitting on Dalton having a great time there. Well, Mason just got eight. Oh God. I love Turbo does the Undertaker run. It's a meme online of the Undertaker looking for a hot tag at Madison Square Garden, and he made a bet that he could oversell it more than anybody else. So he started running back and forth across the rope, slapping the pad, and crowd was going nuts. Mason's an athletic specimen. It's just, all right, Dalton's not even getting out of his gear yet today. Oh, this ain't going to be good. I love seeing Dalton Castle in my ring here. It's been way too long. Oh, yeah, this is over. And Dalton's a little bit early on the drop. He's got to get that timing down. And here comes the bangarang. Mason ain't even trying to get back in the ring on that one. I do not blame him. Ha! Attaboy, Nigel. That's a good one. You just tell by the Outrunner's tights they're hazardous to your health. See, in Canada, it would be the Shawn Michaels 2002 Elimination Chamber tights. If you guys don't remember, they were well known as the shit-colored tights. Ricochet, you got your promo segment already. Are those tights legal in Canada? Probably not. All right, well, this is going to break down. Oh, they are cutting and pasting this segment. Hey, Nats, how you doing tonight? Good to see you pop back in tonight. Hope you're having a great night so far. Since you just popped in, if you haven't seen it yet, here's the updated standings after the first part of the night here. We did see Pac defeat Speedball My Bailey. Oh, God, Michael Ray's going to punk out. He's going to punk out Ricochet. Undefeated. Hey, that's what works. Did you get your bracket in make yourself famous before the show tonight? Wait. Oh, he did a spreadsheet on your P. Okay. No, I just know that in their Discord they were doing a predictions challenge. Hopefully, I can get us big enough that we actually do one of those this year, and maybe I'll throw some prizes in as we go. My God, they need a wide angle lens for this. Who the hell is Michael Ray? Oh God, Rocky. Cut. Okay, I want to see what Okada says. Oh, goody. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I'm out of here. Bye. Oh, that's right. We got this match yet. Shibata v. Kingston tonight. So we get to see Kingston kick the crap out of Shibata for 10 minutes. You know, Eddie Kingston secretly is just having an eternally grateful moment. The fact that he gets to wrestle Shibata. Stick your finger in your ear. That's what your goal is here. Kingston's going to get his hands on Hook, and he's going to absolutely obliterate him one of these times. Arcady, just get the hell out of there. You know Kingston ain't going to wait. Those guys literally fought right out of the building last time. Oh, I'm glad I'm on social media pissing off everybody right now. It's a great moment. Annoyed and I love it. I love it, Nats. I know that you are a Commanders fan, but I am a Bills fan, and the fact that the Cowboys beat the Chiefs, that now the Chiefs have to literally run the table to get to the playoffs pretty much at this point. It's pretty much the point now where they're going to have to run the table. team as a jobber this. Well, you should be used to that by now, Nats. I thought that was a thing, right? More annoyed the Cowboys weren't playing Washington. Yeah, I know. What was that, 2 years ago? Wasn't that 2 years ago that they had the Commanders playing the Cowboys? Back when it was still, a very interesting correlation between the two. Sorry, I deal with the Bills, so I'm like, they should play each other every other year. Yeah, well, I can see why they want to mix it up because, well, let's face it, Washington isn't exactly the biggest TV draw in the world. I do find it funny that, because they don't even do, because they used to do Chicago and Detroit as the opener all the time. And this year they don't have that. The night game's always the same. Cincinnati and, well, no, they use Pittsburgh. They use Pittsburgh against Baltimore a lot. So literally it is all over the place here, but no, I think after Sunday, a lot of the playoff spots are going to be figured out. Not exactly what slot they're going to be in, but who's out. Nobody may be officially out, but they're going to get close. Well, except the Browns. They're out already. But yeah, like, I don't follow the American football as much as I really should completely, but I do have a good sense of what's going on all the time. It's sort of like Kingston here. He sort of figures out what he needs to do, but, Eddie's going to need some matches to get this crowd back to where it was before with him. Like, everybody loves the guy, but really getting behind Kingston at this point, I think it's going to take a little bit of push here, right? The Jays and the Dodgers North, hey. If they can do it and they can win a title, you can call me whatever you want. What's that phrase? You can call me whatever you want, just don't forget to call me the champ. If we end up seeing both Bregman and two of the three between Bregman, Bellinger, and Bichette, if we get those three, we get two of those three in the Jays lineup next year, then I will say we're your Dodgers North. But until that happens, they're just best there was, the best there is, the best there ever will be.
Sir, no, sir!
Next thing you know, they're going to say that, oh, well, we always take a look at that Tomohiro, the Yoshihama Yamanomo. He does know how to throw a real pitch. He holds his arm up before he throws the ball. Or that Shohei Ohtani guy. He always has to step out of the box before he has to hit the pitch. Hashtag bitter Brett. Yeah. No, by the way, I'll throw that in now just for the heck of it. Showtime and Yamamoto are lovers, yeah. That they've been caught down, That's how they use that translator, as a go-between. You could bet on that. to be interesting next year to see how everything lines up. Like, it's so funny now that, when we're talking about early predictions for 2026, and I got full commercial right now, so I got an excuse why I'm not talking wrestling for the moment here. But going into 2026, if the Blue Jays aren't labeled a favorite and the Yankees are labeled the favorite to win the AL East again, there's some kind of bias somewhere, right? It's sort of like with the ratings coming up for what's going to happen with World's End, right? Yanks have pitching. They just don't have any bullpen that, has any confidence in themselves. No, and they do have some decent pitching. I will say that. The fact they're getting Garrett Cole back along with Max Fried, Cam Schlittler, and the whole, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Sorry, I didn't expect to get into a MLB night here, but they do have a decent run of guys there. It's sort of like, how do I put this politely? Last year almost feels like what happened with Darby here. What I think Darby's going to do here in the Continental Classic. I don't think he's going to do much. Nigel trying to actually explain. I was saving this, but I'm using it now.
What the hell was that?
Folks, just a reminder, this is a tape show tonight. Therefore, some things will be edited. And I got a feeling a good 5 minutes of that match was edited out. Because that low blow DQ looked ugly as fuck, and everything else that lined up there. Nigel being rational? It happens. Oh my God, here we go. Okay, Eddie. That's why this got edited. An Eddie speech like this? I said off the top of the match, they need something to get Eddie back into his role. Zodiac, I think he was talking with you. Inspired to be part of this business. Don't do it. Whatever. Gonna talk about Samoa Joe now. I gotta see what the score is in that game. It's gotta be 7-6. Defensive battle, as we call it. Winter is coming. Was that the 10th of December? It's not next week, but the week after. The last night before they head over the seas. Could you imagine? Title change right before they head overseas? It's not going to happen. Let's just call a spade a spade. Eddie and Joe promos, yeah. Like, wasn't the first Winter is Coming in the... No, it was like October. Yeah, I remember this, Zodiac. Septum piercing. Watch out, right? They're bringing Mercedes up. They're bringing Mercedes to GalaxyCon. Okay. I know she does indies. Don't get me wrong here, but the fact they're going to put her on Ring of Honor TV, that's going to be a lot of fun. According to Cage Match, Sting debuted December 2nd. Okay, there you go. Well, hell, it's November 27th and we still don't have snow up here, so it sort of feels that way right now. So, all right, so we're getting Ty Mello and Tekla here next. The only thing that sucks is we're probably not going to get a long time on this. I got a feeling tonight's going to end right at 10 o'clock Eastern, just because it's a tape show and they're editing, and we've already seen a few of the edits tonight. Yeah, but Zodiac, aren't you used to never getting snow? When do you guys get snow down in Florida? And I'm not talking about that white powder you bring over from Cuba here. Normally, don't let that get in the way, Mike. We don't have snow. Technicality speaking, yes, you do not have snow, but no, usually in Canada we'll get a serious layer here mid-October, and then it'll disappear, and then we'll get a big one late November. According to the forecast, we're supposed to get a dump on Monday, but whether we get it or not, snowed in Florida last year? Yeah. Miracles never cease to amaze sometimes. But yeah, like right now, I haven't had to pull out my. Tomorrow, going to work will be the first time I pull out my winter coat this year. I didn't have to use it at all last week when it got a little cold, but didn't Nola get like 4 inches? Maybe. And the Cubans here would say that it's a Venezuelan. All right, sorry. I'll do that. I'll back it up. But I will. Where is it here? Speaking of the Cubans, talking about the Venezuelans.
You told some of the biggest lies that I've ever heard of in my whole life.
I would say that was definitely savage there. I won't give myself a rim shot on that one. That was just too easy. But no, Tony Khan's got the rest of the year booked pretty solidly. Like, we haven't got to a World's End setup yet. We're probably going to get the world title announcement after Winter is Coming. Statlander's opponent, who knows where we're going to go from here. Honestly, if Tekla wins tonight, I think she might even get the shot. I wonder if they're not out here because of storyline or because Julia had something. Because you can't convince me that Julia didn't have something wrong with her in that match. Like, I know that moonsault was just if you guys weren't around last night, Julia Hart went for a moonsault and completely just. It was basically jump, land on your feet, and then flop over. That's how bad it looked. And there's just been a level of in the match. Not saying she was horrible, but there was definitely higher levels to that. Tekla carrying the Trio Madness? Not necessarily. I don't think that's that hot of a take, to be honest. Ty's a little too smiley here, a little too friendly, need to get her a little pissed off. But yeah, as we get, like, I don't know if you guys got a chance to check. Tay was better pre-Sammy. Yeah, well, here's the only thing you could say about that too, and I'm a little careful on this though. By saying that, you could also say she's better pre-kid. Motherhood changes you in many ways. Because she definitely has had to change her the way she does things. Sammy was better pre-Tay too. Once again, fatherhood will change things. Oh, nice little triangle choke here. Yeah, there's no hate to it. It just, I think there was a lot of momentum with both of them. I do think that Ty has actually helped Sammy a little bit in terms of his overall maturity. Because I know before Sammy had a bit of a break here for paternity leave, he, and I understand it's not all his fault. It takes more than one to tango. But he was getting himself into a lot of trouble here. Oh, here we go. Suplex on the outside. In terms of being a person that sees Sammy is much more mature today, but I don't know him. At least he ain't talking about the C. I think that's the best way to answer that one right there. Just my opinion.
Sir, no, sir!
I will just leave it at that for that one. But yeah, just as we're going through this here, just I'd like to see Ty get a little bit more of a push here, maybe going after Mercedes at this point, but also having Tekla go up against Chris would be a pretty good World's End match as well. So I do think the eventual storyline, the way it works out, is Willow takes the title from Chris. It makes too much natural sense. Then Mercedes can win the title off Willow. That, like, in a perfect world, that makes the most sense of all these stories here. But it almost, like I said, World's End is a weird one because with the C2 going on and whatnot, you have limited time to actually produce the other storylines in 4 hours of TV. Because you're trying to give 20 minutes to each of those matches. So if you give 20 minutes to each match every week, that's one of your 2 shows completely gone. So then you got 2 hours over 4 to completely finish off all your storylines, get things moving towards, like, Winter is Coming, towards World's End, and just trying to fill those little stop gaps in between. That's why I say usually this is a time where you give a lot of people time to rest. So I think Brody King, you will not see him here for the rest of the year. There's a bunch of people you might not see for the rest of the year here. Just because it is sort of headed towards that. We only have a little bit to go here, right? So. And then everything just picks right back up on January. Well, what was it? New Year's Eve is on Wednesday this year. Check this real quick here. Yeah, New Year's Eve's on a Wednesday, so you guys will be hanging out with me dealing with AEW New Year's Dynamite here. If you guys are interested, I will be here for that. Hell, we might even run a little late and run right into the new year. Tekla likes it rough. Yes, I said it. She was known for that really well in Stardom, right? Oh no. The hair is up. Time to go to work. Don't piss Ty off. Ties out. Oh, wow. Okay. She was flirting with disaster there. I'd be kicking her right now, to be honest. If it's lined up like that, just kick her right there. And Ty just said, no, I'm going to hit you with a knee instead. I don't know. Me as a fan, I just hate it when the wrestler sits there and got their hands ready to kick out at 0. Gotch pile driver, let's go. And as a commentator, I hate the words, that's it, it's over. Because you know it's never over. It's never it. She going for the tie KO, yeah. Ty just couldn't find her right spot there. All right, that's it. We're done. Hell of a match. Like a hell performance by Ty. Like the my God, Nigel. So who's going to come out and do the breakup here? I don't think it's going to be Harley and Willow. They have no reason to be out here now. Well, Jamie by herself. Oh, so now we're going to get, all right. This makes a lot of sense. This makes a lot of sense. I said we were looking towards maybe Tekla and Statlander at World's End. And realistically, this very well could be a way to go here, right? Hey, cut the commercial. Let's go. All right. All right, last commercial break before we get into the finale here tonight. Once again, I'll give you guys a quick rundown. It's very, very simple right now. TBA. Plan is to come on after Survivor Series on Saturday night. Tomorrow I might pop on. We'll see what time I get home from work and see how Black Friday goes after work, which between the driving and the running around, it's all over the place here. So, Andre, you changed your handle? Andre C, how the hell you doing? Hope you're doing well. We're just watching AEW Collision together here. Like I said, hope you're doing great today. And yeah, just giving a quick rundown of what's going on the channel. To be honest, we're just setting things up, getting ready. Yeah, I don't know why it changed. Where is it here? We'll throw a little drama quote on there for you. But yeah, best thing to do, just keep track on socials here, folks. Next time I can confirm we will be here next Wednesday for AEW Dynamite and the return of the online My GM. We are on season 4. Hopefully next week we're going to get our 10th Hall of Fame trophies. 2, if not 3 of us. Probably a YouTube update thingy, maybe. Maybe. We'll have to see here. If you guys aren't checking out the channel, by the way, the Backbreaker video channel, if you're watching on YouTube right now, make sure you hit the subscribe and the thumbs up if you haven't already. And if you guys are interested in the independent local scene here in Edmonton, Andre and AMC do a great job with the Pop Shop podcast, which they break down all the local cards here in town. And then they're starting, next year, they're going to be starting to do some interviews. I'm going to be starting a new segment. I'm working on getting the graphics done before I announce anything, because every time I say I'm going to do something, I don't do it. And I'm like, look like an idiot. So I'm literally going to make sure it's done before I, basically when I have it locked in to come out, you guys will see it. So, yeah, follow us there on the YouTube channel. If you're following on Twitch, make sure you hit the follow button if you haven't already. Let you know every time I go live, as well as if you really like what you see here, not only are gift subs on a discount right now, but if you're interested in checking out everything ad-free, Twitch Turbo is free for 30 days. The deal is on now until December 31st. Essentially, you will watch Twitch ad-free. And all the revenue that the streamer would have got for you watching the ad will go to the streamers. So check out that little battery button on top for all the details. But no matter what you're doing, whether you're lurking, whether you're watching, YouTube, Twitch, whatever, thank you for being here. Always appreciate you. And let's get to this playoff match. How was football? Well, the Chiefs lost. Nope. There we go. By the way, the up-to-date standings here are in the graph up here right now. Tonight we had Mike Bailey lose to Pac, so Pac's on the board now too. So, and yeah, tonight we got Takeshita and Roddy Strong in the main event. Early game of football. We're probably, well, the Lions ended up lying it. It was more the Lions losing it than the Packers winning it. And tonight, apparently, it is 7-6 in the Baltimore Cincinnati game, which at halftime, that should pretty much explain that. They had a chance for a touchdown, apparently got fumbled out of the end zone by the receiver. But yeah, as we get into this here, last match of the first round. It's always important to get out to a good start. It would be nice to see Roderick get a couple wins, maybe sneak into that second spot. I'm sorry, anybody would be insane to think that Takeshi's not getting first going into the playoffs. The Gold League is a lot more straightforward, I feel, than the Blue League, right? Or sorry, the Blue League. Whoa. Let me correct myself here. I got my drafts mixed up here. This one could be a mess because Takeshi's got to go through Castagnoli and Moxley. Folks, you can tell this is taped because, well, you don't get to hear any of the action in the ring right now. There it goes. Now it's back. So, yeah, we got 12 minutes left on the show. I think we're probably just going to go to the regular time for the show tonight. So, he might be the best bell-to-bell wrestler. Evening, Michael. Thank you for the happy Thanksgiving. Of course, to all our American friends here. Us in Canada land, we do celebrate Thanksgiving. It's just a little different up here. I love how Callis is trying to just blame it on bad English right now. On Okada basically calling out Takeshita, punking him out in the middle of a group here tonight. Nice little backbreaker there. Takeshi's going to be made to look like $1 million here tonight, guaranteed. So, folks, what match are you looking forward to the most next? Like, which match are you looking forward to next? Like, I think the obvious pick would be the Mox versus Claudio match. I wish they had some kind of schedule out for when each of these matches are going to happen. That way we can talk about it and plan a little bit about who's going to be going where and whatnot. Both wrestlers here look like $1 million. Yeah, fair enough. I'd like Callis to understand that those points can't be shared. So we're getting Okada Pac, Claudio Moxley, which means we're going to get... Well, I guess that doesn't break anything else down for that. Oh, yes, we're getting the death match next Wednesday. Mina and Tony versus Megan and Marina. Which, honestly, should be a hell of a matchup. I wonder if they're going to main event. I totally think the women's tag will be the main event. A winner is coming. Like the crowning of the women's tag champions. I don't think they're going to put on a random Dynamite, but I do think they're going to put it on Winter is Coming, which will be the night before they head overseas. There very well could be a possibility they could run it overseas, like in Wales or in Scotland, whichever they decide. Because you know those crowds are going to be absolutely nuts there, right? So it'd be a real shame if they ran it on the 13th. Like upside John Cena's last match. Like they're running it, like they're not running the shows at the same time, but I'd rather them have a day to be remembered by. That's why I think Winter is Coming might be the best spot for it, and just put it in the main event there that Wednesday before they head across the head across the world. If they're not going to wait till World's End, which they very well could at this point, but we're not sure which way they're going to go with it. Let's not mince words over this. They might. Homer just feeling like throwing a Titanic flute out here. I appreciate you using the channel points for such. But yeah, I don't know whether he's thinking my conversation's a sinking ship, maybe. I don't know. But as we get into this here, looking at these women's tag titles, could you possibly wait till the pay-per-view? I think so, and it wouldn't make me feel bad if they did, but the only problem with that is the fact we have that C2 finals going there. We're probably going to get the Hangman, Swerve, and Joe triple threat there. That's what we've all been discussing here ever since Samoa Joe won the title. Honestly, if they want to do something out of the ordinary, put the women's tag titles as the main event. Have Joe defend the trios titles at World's End. That way the focus will be on the C2 and the women's tags. It'd be interesting to have the women's tag titles main event before the actual women's world title, but that was pretty awesome there with Roddy. Nice little reversal there to high angle slam. He won a tournament, Don. I love how Callis is trying to figure things out here, and he just. Takeshita being really smart here. Uh-oh, going up? Nope. Blue Thunder. I wonder how his ankle always feels every time that Blue Thunder Bomb lands on his left ankle. As they're getting set up here. Oh, God, that hurt. That shot in the corner hurt. So what's he got planned now? Takeshi's not usually a... outside of 2K25, he's not usually a second row person. Raging Fire off the top would not be good. Oh, no. I know where this is going. All right, that sucked. That sucked in so many ways right there. Roderick had the arm up and he had to put it back down. It's nice to see that title actually being shown off on AEW TV, though. I have to say that. Don't have to worry about any title defenses for it right now because of the C2. Oh, now what's he? Oh, here we go. He's going to hit him in the end of Heartbreak? That double knee backbreaker is awesome. Chaos Theory suplex. Yeah, that is a beautiful. So the Chaos Theory is when you roll through and then hit the German after. It's supposed to give you extra torque. But when it's deadlift like that, it sort of nullifies the effects of the Chaos Theory. Still gonna hurt like hell. Yeah, this one's done. Rage and fire right on the money. Let me move this up here. I'm going to get this updated as quickly as humanly possible here. Well, I kind of sort of I didn't think we were going to get a tie in the first round. That would have been interesting. Okay, let's get this updated for you here. And there you go. We are up to date to the moment right now, folks. Yeah, we got a hell of a Wednesday lined up here, and I will say it's good that we actually get to finish on time for once instead of, trying to figure things out through 15 different, trying to run this 20 minutes after, 30 minutes after. Let me hit the snooze button here so we don't run into, say, ads right now. All in all, decent enough collision. We got our 2 tournament matches. We got the, we got Tekla over Ty Mello, which brought Statlander out and Hater out and setting up that whole plot line of going through those. The Daddy Magic, Daniel Garcia rivalry apparently finishing up. I know that we said we might be able to carry this on, but now that Briscoe's come out to basically challenge Garcia, for lack of a better term, I think that might be a World's End match. Wouldn't be the worst pick in the world. And then, of course, Eddie Kingston, Shibata, that edited, lovely little moment there. That almost felt like that match didn't even need to be on the damn show tonight. So, to be honest, it was there for the post-show segment. It wasn't there for the actual match, even though it was set up to be there for the actual match. So, but all in all, a great time watching with all of you here. So, But strangely enough, after an AEW show, we're not doing anything after this. Because like I said, I got to get ready for work. I got a couple videos to edit as well. So, yeah. For those watching on the old YouTube channel, we're going to send you off immediately here. Those on Twitch, hang out for the raid here. We're going to do that real quick here. YouTube, we are going to be back here next Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. Make sure you stop in, say hi, all the great things, and go check out some of the other videos on the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. But in the meantime, thank you for stopping by the Backbreaker video channel, and we will catch you all here on Wednesday.